Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. And this week, I finally got around to it, at least to taping it for you guys. I've got the deck profile. It's gonna be Utopia. But since we basically did the same list not that long ago, this is basically just building off with Brothers of Legend and some of the new support cards. I'm actually going to forgo doing a test hand because it's really just going to play out mostly the same. Just a couple of things get streamlined. That said, let's get you guys a deck list. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to play 3 copies of the new Utopia. Good card, great card, allows for a lot more searching to occur in this deck. And actually adds a certain level of precision, so that's pretty cool. We're still playing the 2 copies, Dwarf, Glove. He's good. Again, we'll go over the effects here afterward in case you guys don't know the effects. We're still going to be using 3 copies, Utopic, Onomatopoeia, because, yes, still a good card. 3 copies each of the Zexal Sage Armed Sage and the Zexal Sage Ascended Sage. We're going to run 2 copies of the Zubaba Bancho Gagaga Coat. And then we're going to run 3 main deck Zexal weapons. And again, you guys can change this part up if you like. I still like playing all 3. And that's Zexal Weapon Lightning Blade, 1 copy Pegasus Twin Saber, and 1 copy Tornado Bringer. So just real quick, there's the monsters for this deck. You see it's pretty monster and spell heavy. We've only got like 3 traps in this build. So just real quick, guys, go ahead, take your notes, pause the screen, whatever you guys got to do, and then we'll just go ahead and do a little bit of movie magic to clear our field. So that's pretty cool. Let's get you guys the spells. We are still going to be running just the single copy of Double or Nothing. It's not so involved a strategy, but it's always like a good thing to have on board. We're going to use 1 copy of the new Hyper Rank Up Magic Utopia Force. Single copy Monster Reborn, best like extender generically in this deck. 3 copies Onomatopoeia. 3 copies Onomatopoeia. We're still going to run the 2 copies of Rank Up Magic Zexal Force. Single Reinforcement of the Army. And again, I'm not too sure why I didn't just pull out one of like the shinier ones. Sorry about that. I got the 3 copies of Xyz Change Tactics. And round out the spells with 3 copies of Zexal Construction. One more time, guys. Go ahead, pause whatever you got to do. Take the screenshot. Go ahead, write your notes. And again, a little bit more of the movie magic. And that'll bring us to our last 3 cards in the main deck. The 3 copies of Numbers Protection. Now, last time I was playing Infinite Impermanence in this slot. And this was pre-Cyber Strike. So now that Cyber Strike's out, like, obviously Infinite Impermanence is not so heavy-handed on whether or not you guys have some, like, easy access to it. Again, Cyber Strike's still in, like, every hobby store, every OTS I've been to, and even still in just in regular generic retailers, department stores. But since I wanted to play with the new cards, obviously I wanted to grab the 3 copies of Numbers Protection that I played. Pulled. And it worked out pretty good, actually. And I can't wait to give you guys the lowdown on that effect, but it's almost better. It's almost better almost all of the time. And then let's get you guys the extra deck real quick. And as you would think for a Utopia build, obviously we're going to have a lot of Utopia love in here, but it's going to be a full-on Xyz extra deck. So there's not going to be any, like, we're not going to try to link climb or anything. It's just about putting like 1 or 2 Xyz on the field and getting your plays from there. So real quick, I have a couple generic ones up first, and that would be our Abyss Dweller and our Exciton Knight. Again, I just don't think there's getting away from these 2 cards because they're both just very good all the time. And Exciton Knight still, I think Exciton Knight still commands a small price margin. But the Abyss Dwellers, they've been reprinted enough times, like, there's almost no excuse. Obviously, if you're just starting out, that's fine. You will get there. But the Exciton Knight might be a little heavy-handed, at which point you guys could add anything you want. I want to say Tornado Dragon was just reprinted, and that would also be, like, really cool in here, too. It's another great rank 4. We're also going to play 3 copies of Utopia, and since we're playing the new version, I'd like to just go ahead and use one of each of the 3 arts that I have. I was lucky enough. I was able to get a full playset here, and I've had a full playset for these 2. So it's always going to be the same effect. He's awesome. He looks great. We're going to run the single Utopia double. Also important. We're going to have the single copy number 41 Baguska, the Terribly Tired Tapir. And then from the new stuff, we are going to use a copy of number 99 Utopia Dragonar, who's actually pretty darn cool. We are going to reuse our C39 Utopia Ray. We are going to use the S39 Utopia the Lightning. We are going to use one of our copies of Ultimate Dragonic Utopia Ray. We're going to pair it off with the new guy, Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. We're going to have one of the new Zexal Sage Utopic Sage. And then I'm just going to add my Zexal Weapons, Dragonic Halberd, and Leo Arms back into the deck. So, again, I'm going to leave those sit down there while I talk to you guys. But if you wanted to, you guys could totally pause the screen again. I'm not going to pull any magic this time. But seriously, if you guys were just here for the deck list, I hope that you guys enjoy it. For the most part, none of the plays really change. It's just inclusive to the extra support cards. So go ahead, check out the old test hand maybe. I will not be doing one this week. This deck is so straightforward, there's almost no need for it. So that is sort of what it is. And seriously, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did and you were just here for the deck list, I hope that you guys have a great day. I want you to go out there and do something for yourself today. Go enjoy it. And if you're interested in supporting the channel, again, the easiest and best way to do so is subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's just that simple. Just keep watching. Let your friends know about the channel. But seriously, have a great day, guys. You are free to go. Everybody else, let's go over some of these card effects, and you'll basically pick up what changed with the new support. So, real quick, let's start with Utopia. So again, nice little level 4. I love the way they sort of ghosted him on here. It fits with the theme of his name and everything. Effect, if an Xyz monsters is on the field. Note, it does not say that you have to be the one to control them. You may special summon this card from the hand. You can also send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard to add 1 Xyz, Onomot, Zexal, or Number spell trap card from the deck to the hand. Each of these effects can be used once per turn. So again, this is where we get to search out so many more of our spells and everything. And this just allows you to get into all of your supports. And again, if your opponent's running Xyz too, they went first, by golly, just go ahead and build off their summon. Again, we maximized him because he's just great. So we got Dwarf Glove, because I'm not going to stutter because it will trigger my mush mouth. And as funny as that is, I'd rather not today. So during the main phase, you could special summon 1 Zubaba or Gagaga from your hand. If you control a Go-Go-Go or Dododo, except this guy, while this card is in the graveyard, you could special summon this card, banishing it when it leaves the field. Each effect is a once per turn, so again, he's going to help you establish the early game boards to get into all of our tactics. Utopic Onomatopoeia, always treated as not only Utopic, but also a Zubaba, Gagaga, Go-Go-Go, and a Dododo. It is considered to be all 4 of these at the same time. During the main phase, you could special summon 1 each of a Zubaba, a Gagaga, a Go-Go-Go, and or a Dododo from the hand in defense position. And you may not special summon from the extra deck for the remainder of the turn except Xyz monsters, using this effect only once per turn. So again, if you did start with 2 of these in your hand, you could in fact... Okay, Luna, thank you. You could... Sorry, my cat is just scratching at the table. She just really wants some attention. And I'm going to give her that if she behaves. Sorry. So sorry. But again, if you had 1 in your hand and then you did play the one, like you started with 2, you get to play the second one off the first effect, including all the other cards that you were able to play too, which is what is very cool about that. Now, these sages, they work in tandem. You have the armed sage. If the only monster you control is a level 4, not named this name, you can special summon this from the hand. A Utopia Xyz monster that was summoned using this card as material gains the following effect. If Xyz summoned, you can add a Zexal weapon from deck to hand. So this will allow us to get one of our 3 Zexal weapons real quick. And then the Ascended Sage says if we control no cards, we can special summon it from the hand. So again, if you start with both of these in the opening hand, or one of these in a reinforcement of the army, you can go ahead and tag the other one. You go Ascended to Armed, just so that this way you'd never used your normal summon. And then again, a Utopia Xyz monster summoned using this card as material gains the following effect to add 1 rank up magic normal spell from the deck to the hand. And again, we have 2 options now because we did get the new hyper rank up magic for Utopia Force. So very good. Then we have the Gagaga coat. If you control a Zubaba or Gagaga except same name while this is in the hand, you can special summon this. You target 1 Gogago or Dododo in the graveyard, special summon it. You cannot special summon from the extra deck except Xyz. Each effect once per turn. Again, works perfectly, especially with Onomatopoeia. And then there's our 3 Zexal weapons. So they can both equip from the hand or the field. I believe from the field. Yep. To a Utopia monster that you control. They will always pass on whatever their attack is. Maybe that's not always right. So the Lightning Blade says target the Utopia that you control. Equip this from your hand or side of the field to the targeted. Give it 1200 attack. While this card is equipped to a monster, face-up Zexal weapons you control cannot be destroyed by opponent card effects. If a monster equipped with this will be destroyed by a card effect, destroy this instead. You can only control 1 Lightning Blade at a time. Twin Saber. You can only control 1 of these. If your opponent's life points are at least 2k higher than yours, you can special summon this. No, I guess you can still. You target 1 Utopia you control, equip this that you control as an equipped spell that gives it the 1000. So this one just can't do it from the hand. Once per turn while this card is equipped to a monster, you can negate a monster effect activated on your opponent's field. This is amazing. Tornado Bringer, target 1. This guy follows the same rule as our Lightning Blade. This is where I got confused. And it does give its attack to 1300 to it. While it's equipped to a monster, the opponent cannot target that monster with card effects. And if a monster equipped with this card will be destroyed by battle, destroy this card instead. Again, you can only control 1 of these at a time, but that's fine. Moving into the spells, the Double or Nothing is here for the Utopia double play. And again, we only run the single because we can tutor it. So when a monster's attack is negated, a la Utopia's effect, target the monster, give it another attack this battle phase, and if you do, the attack is doubled during the damage step only. The new rank up force, target a rank 9 or lower Utopia Xyz monster that you control. Special summon 1 rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic Xyz monster in the extra deck. Using that Xyz monster that you control as material. This will be considered an Xyz summon. You do transfer materials over. If an Xyz monster is special summoned by the effect of a rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic Xyz monster, while this card is in the graveyard except during the damage step, you can target one of those special summon monsters, attach this card as material, each effect only once per turn. And again, this is how we're going to get to play Dragonar. So, very cool. Monster Reborn, like I said, just helps you extend your play. Onomatopoeia, you can only activate 1 of these per turn. Send 1 card from the hand to the graveyard. Add up to 2 of the following from the deck, but you may not add 2 from the same category. So you get a Zubaba, a Gagaga, a Gogago, and or a Dododo. And again, since Utopic Onomatopoeia says it is always treated as, double check our wording, this card is always treated as, it is a legal target for the Onomatopoeia at all times. And then you have Pickup, the continuous. When this is activated, you can add 1 Onomat card from your deck to the hand. So you're going to grab Para. Target 1 Zubabo, Gagago, or Dododo monster you control. All monsters you currently control become that monster's level until the end of the turn. This would be important if you were playing more different levels, but we did standardize towards the rank 4 play. So again, this really is just to get the para. and help you keep on strategy. We are using the 2 copies Rank Up Zexal Force. Target an Xyz monster you control, special summon from the extra deck a Utopia or Zexal weapon that is 1 rank higher than that monster that you control using it as material. If you do, take 1 Zexal weapon or Sage monster from your deck, place it on the top of your deck. This is treated as an Xyz summon, also transferring all materials. If the opponent's life points are at least 2,000 higher than yours, you may banish this from the graveyard to draw 1 card. Each effect once per turn, and what this really excels at is letting you get into a bigger card while stacking the deck to draw the card you actually want. Reinforcement of the army, very generic since there are a lot of warriors in this build. The Xyz change tactics. When a Utopia monster is Xyz summoned to the field, you can pay 500 life points, draw 1 card. You may only control 1 of these at a time. Again, since we have so many card effects that say that you can discard cards to do them, it was fair to just go ahead and play this at 3. I didn't see a problem with it. The Zexal Construction. Reveal a card in your hand. If you do, add 1 of the following from the deck. Then shuffle the revealed card back into the deck. Grab a Zexal Weapon monster, Zexal Sage monster, Zexal Spell Trap, rank up magic spell card, or a rank down magic spell card. Only activating 1 of these per turn. And again, it's another great way to get rid of that Xyz change tactics when you don't need it. And then just last is the numbers protection. And this is such a cool counter trap because we're running 3, but it's like we're running 6. So let's get it. When a spell trap or monster effect is activated, while you control a numbered Xyz monster, negate and destroy the card. If a number Xyz monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this is in the graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use 1 numbers protection effect per turn and only once that turn. And since it's in quote, it's a hard once per turn one way or the other. It does take a little more skill and timing, but honestly, kind of worth it. So you're not going to get back 2 and 3 of them at a time, but it should be enough power and enough replays to really help you out. Just going to the extra deck real quick, and again, most of this is just we know them. So like Abyss Dweller helps stop our opponent's graveyard plays. Exciton Knight lets us blow the field if the opponent overwhelms us. The Utopias allow us a lot of play in this deck, but additionally, when they appeal material, when a monster declares an attack, we can negate the attack. And then if it is attacked while it has 0 materials, it is destroyed by its own effect. The Utopia Double is a great play. You want to go into this one first. Quick effect, detach material from this, add a double or nothing from the deck to the hand, then special summon from your extra deck a Utopia Xyz monster, except same name, using this as material, transferring any materials it would have as well. If you do, the attack becomes double. It cannot attack directly. And you can only use this effect once per turn. It's one of those things where when we go into Utopia, he's now 5k. And because of the doubling effect with the double or nothing and our ability to negate our own attack, we can make that a 10k slash at a monster. So again, as long as it's 2,000 points or less and our opponent fails the block, we get the win. Baguska is just another very good tech card. And I do think he's pretty easy to come across these days. He might still be a little pricey, maybe like a $5 card, I think. But he's still good. And again, for getting out of situations. Let's talk about number 99 Dragonar, because again, obviously, we're going to be using the hyper rank up magic. Because we're not going to be playing 3 level 12s. That's just not happening. Quick effect, detach 2 materials from this. Special summon from the extra deck a number monster that has a number between 1 and 100 in the name. So again, this is kind of amazing. And one of the things I like to do is actually go into the Utopia Double, because then our rank up spell will equip to it, allowing us to pitch material, go into the Utopia. And then because Utopia has double as the material, we still get that one shot, which is always cool. But again, you can do this for anything that you want. This would be considered an Xyz summon. The turn you activate this effect, other monsters you control cannot attack directly. And again, when you're going for the Utopia 1/ with the double or nothing, you're not allowed to attack directly. So you want to hit a monster with that effect and that attack. You can also not summon from the extra deck except Xyz. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can change the attack of the opponent's monster to 0. Each effect once per turn. It's kind of amazing. If you read it again, it says you can change. I don't think that's targeting, guys. So that's pretty cool. And again, it was just an excuse to really play this guy. I love this guy. He looks bad, and I do hope that you guys all get to pull one and try it out for yourselves. C39 again. We can go into this off Utopia, just Xyz Evolve, and then again slide our materials from the previous under this as well. Detach one Xyz material from this. This gains 500 attack, and one opponent's monster loses 1,000 attack until the end phase. You must have 1,000 life points or less in order to activate this effect. So again, it's one of those we got behind in the game type strategies. It's fine. You have S39, Utopia the Lightning. Again, we're not doing 3 level 5 lights. We are going to use a rank 4 Utopia monster that we control as material. This one cannot be used as material for an Xyz summon. If this card battles, the opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step, which can be very trifling for them and very excellent for us, especially, and let me see if I'm not wrong here, but if we used double set, detach, special summon 1 Utopia Xyz monster. This is a Utopia Xyz monster, and it would be doubled at 5. We would not be able to stop his attack unless we already had another double. Or not a double, but a regular Utopia. But if we did, we could make it a 10k that they can't respond to. Otherwise, it'll be a 5k that they can't respond to, but I just can't attack direct. Going down to the next one. Once per chain during damage calculation, if it battles an opponent's monster, while it has a Utopia Xyz monster, Utopia Xyz monster as material, quick effect, detach 2 materials, and this card's attack becomes 5k during the damage calculation only. Again, if you did play it off the double, don't do that. There's no point. But it's very cool. The Dragonic Utopia Ray, also considered to be C39 at all times. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this card, or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect, you may equip 1 Zexal weapon from your hand or deck to this card as though it were equipped by that monster's effect. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target face-up cards that your opponent controls up to the number of Zexal weapon monster cards equipped to this card and negate their effects. He's kind of cool. Leo Ray, also always treated as C39 Utopia Ray. Once per turn, detach material from this, equip 1 Zexal weapon from your deck or extra deck to this card as though it were equipped by that monster's effect. This effect's activation and effect cannot be negated. Once per turn, while this card is equipped with a Zexal weapon monster card, quick effect, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects, and if you do, have its attack. And again, it does not say till the end of the turn. So, kind of better and just as easy to play out. You do have the Utopic Sage. This guy was pretty cool too. 2 4s. You get to detach both materials from this card. Special summon a Zexal weapon or Sage monster from your deck. For the rest of the turn, you can only attack with number monsters. And you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Xyz. Again, we're not doing anything but Xyz. You can only use this effect of Sage once per turn. If a Utopia or Utopic Xyz monsters you control whose original attribute is light would be destroyed by battle or card effect, except Sage, you can banish this card from the field or graveyard instead. So again, he's a pretty cool one-of. And then again, we got the 2 Zexal weapons. Last time we had to use the Zexal rank up to get these. Now we can just let our, Leo Ray just equip them from the extra deck. We'll start with Halberd. Cannot attack directly once per turn. Detach 1 material from this card to add a Zexal spell trap from deck to hand. You can target a Utopia that you control. Give it 3k. When the equipped monster destroys a monster by battle, you can special summon to your field any number of Zexal weapons attached to it. Again, this is a great way to get a 3K beater out. In Leo Arms, cannot attack directly once per turn. You get detached material from this. Add a Zexal weapon monster from deck to hand. Target a Utopia you control. Equip this monster to that. It gains 3K attack. During the battle phase, if the equipped monster attacked this turn, you can send this equipped spell to the graveyard. The equipped monster can make a second attack on an opponent's monster during the battle phase. So again, it's just way cooler that we actually get methods to play those characters a lot easier. And I'm really enjoying all the new support for this. I do think next up has to be the Appliancers, because it just seems like I can't get away from that deck. I started with that deck. I did it again back in August when it was the 1 year anniversary of me being on YouTube. And I feel like before the end of the year, we got to go out with, since they gave us the 2 cards of support, just kind of refresh that deck. And I probably will skip the test hand there too, because again, not much is going to change. So it should be easier to just jump into. That's all. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by and spending the time with me. I'm going to go get myself a cup of tea because my throat's feeling a little raw. And you guys have an excellent day. All right? All right. I will see you guys later. Peace.